Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're kind of whispering, but it's okay. So we're gonna be talking about the second Aquaman. I watched it. I was planning on watching it just because I really loved the first one. I think it was beautiful. Despite how well DC is doing and taking care of the whole DC movie business. But we're not gonna get too much into that, although we will mention the whole Amber Heard debacle a little bit because she was in this movie. And after watching a bit of the trial, I didn't know how her and Jason Momoa's chemistry would be. And it ended up being okay. She was not around for a majority of the movie, which doesn't really make sense because she is the mother of his child, and Queen of Atlantis. Yeah, she is queen now. So yeah, she's injured for a majority of the movie, and then she's underwater for some of it. But the baby is on land with Arthur's dad and Arthur. And Arthur goes just to Atlantis for political business. But yeah, I didn't like this movie for many, many reasons, because I could feel the plot holes with Amber not being there. And also, I just feel like it didn't have the same pace and the same kind of like sharp, witty, fun, and like comments, and then like the beautiful like depictions of Atlantis and all the beautiful colors and the way that they filmed it, I think was great in the first one. And there was just like a lot of action. Here it just kind of, it fell flat. So basically Black Manta is back, and he, along with the guy who's desperately trying to prove that the Atlanteans exist, played by the guy who's also in Marvel and is an Ant-Man, and I love him, and I don't know his name, but just so funny seeing someone that you love and who does so well in Marvel be such a pivotal character in another movie that's like the opposite, it's DC. But I think that he carried the movie in a lot of ways. He and Jason Momoa, I think, because they were both really, really funny. And they start working together. Black Manta ends up wielding this like mystical black trident that is from like the past of a very, very corrupt like civilization under the water, and basically they all turn to monsters and everything, and the last Atlantean king froze them in time, and the trident is having like this symbiotic relationship with him, where the king of this other civilization that is frozen in time is talking and speaking to him through this trident, this powerful object. And so Black Manta is also gaining like power through it, being told what to do, and he's like stronger and everything. And so then he wants to free his people, because that's, the king speaking through him, and avenge them, and obviously kill Atlanteans, and that's what Black Manta wants to. And so Arthur is having trouble kind of figuring his place as Atlantean king. He's kind of over it, but he loves his son and he loves Atlantis. He just hates the governing part of it. And so when Black Manta starts attacking, Amber, or Mara, gets injured. Then she's away for most of the movie. He's like, what do we do? He takes his place in protecting Atlantis, which is what he one of the things he does best. And he talks to his mom and um, the other, I forget his name, but the other king, and they tell him that the person who might know about more about the Black Trident and like the energy that they're getting and stuff, like apparently it's like from deep within like the earth, and it was used by the civilization. And the person who knows more about that would be his brother, who was banished after what happened in the events of the first movie. So Arthur goes to get him, bring him back, and then his brother kind of learns, like, you know, that he was wrong in doing what he did, and he, along the process, becomes more trustworthy. Um, and they together go to stop Black Manta. But in order to free this king, he needs the blood of an Atlantean, of the former Atlantean king, which is Arthur's like descendant. And they're like, okay, so he would need like my blood or my brother's blood, but then he has a kid, so then he goes after the kid, and then they're like, oh no, so then they go and they try to, and they're gonna save the baby, obviously, and stop him, and of course the civilization ends up awakening, the king ends up awakening, and the Black Trident, there's this one moment where the brother gets a hand, because once he touches it, like, he sees things and everything, so it possesses him. So Arthur's fighting his brother for a while, and then he's like, brother, you don't want to do this, and the brother comes to, and everything, because he now cares about his brother, and yeah, and then they kick his butt, they beat him. All the Atlanteans, are fighting these creatures that were once people, because they were people turned into creatures. And the guy who is an Ant-Man ends up, wanting remorse for what he did. He doesn't like that what he did. He feels like it was wrong and everything. And there's parts where he shows that he was wrong and everything, but he's like one of the lead scientists there. So Black Manta doesn't kill him, obviously, because he needs them. And because they are getting this energy from the earth, like creatures in the the area that they're mutating and everything. So that's another reason why the Atlanteans are trying to stop this and everything. And so yeah, they stop him. That guy survives, and he doesn't get any credit for getting in contact with the Atlanteans, which is kind of sad, but then he's also kind of happy, because at the end, like, Arthur's like, oh, Atlantis exist, we'll give you our resources, we'll help out, kind of like how it was with Black Panther in a weird way. And then Arthur being Arthur is crazy and everything, and he's doing his things on camera and everything, but yeah, everyone is like happy and at peace, and so is Ant-Man guy, and yeah, and there was an instance where in this movie where the dad almost died. I don't know if the mom and the dad are still I would assume they're still together, because there was this moment where she was like caressing him and everything, but he survived, because when Black Manta went to get the baby, he like was trying to kill him and almost succeeded. So yeah, but they were gonna send the brother back to exile once this was all over, but since he kind of proved himself, they were like, well, we're in the middle of I think they were in the Arctic, like nobody's gonna know if you died or not, like there's a lot of people that are dead, so it's kind of out like in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what happened with the mutated creatures, but okay. And yeah, and then he moves on, and he goes and lives his life, and they go and they live their lives, and that's pretty much the whole movie. There's the scene at the end where he's eating a burger with a cockroach, though that one was very disgusting. But yeah, let him live his best free human life. And then Arthur figures out what it is and means to be king in his own way. His brother, he was talking about, you did better being king than I did, and his brother ends up telling him, you're king in your own way, and yeah, he does his thing, and he's Arthur and crazy, and yeah. So yeah, that's it for today's video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you real soon. Bye.